everybody, this is Tina with Rehatch Designs. Hope everybody's doing well. Today I wanted to go ahead and finish the flip-flop journal that we started, and I had a lot of questions on sewing in the signatures and pockets and things like that. So I thought I would go ahead and do a part two, because I realize it's not necessarily the same as you would a regular journal as far as sewing in the signatures. So I thought I would do that. I started to do it on my own, but then I thought I'll turn on the camera and do the part two. So that's what we're going to work on, and we're going to talk a little bit about adding pockets and lace and trim and things like that. So the first thing I want to talk about, though, is the actual journal itself. And if you watched part one, I'll put that in the description box if you're interested. We had this as the front, and we went ahead and added all of our pockets and everything. And I went ahead and picked out some pages. So I went ahead and we were going to put this little envelope on this side. I decided to put it on this side simply because the fact I decided to make this my front, and I thought it should open this way. I don't know that it really matters. It can go either way. But this is going to be my front. I just like that picture better. So it really doesn't make any difference, because the way it works is you're just going like this. You look through it and you turn it over, and then you're looking through the other side. Okay. So anyway, if you're confused about that, the best thing to do is watch part one, and it shows you the very basics of how to do this. Okay, so I have picked out all of my papers, and we are going to go ahead and sew in signatures. I'm going to be doing a 5-hole pamphlet stitch, which is a little bit more advanced than the 3-hole. So if you haven't done the 3-hole yet, I would probably do something with a 3-hole. You could do this with a 3-hole. This is a little bit longer than I like to go. Just, let's see, what are we at? We're at right at 9 and almost 9.5. I really don't like to go much past 8 inches on a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, but you could definitely do this with a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. You know, it's not as big as the a lot of the 10.5, almost 11 inch, the long journals. But I personally like the 5-hole better on when you're using long pieces. Okay, especially if you've got a lot of little pieces in there, and I do. And I thought, well, this way we're doing something different, so we could definitely do it like that. Let's see. The one thing I did want to talk about that I didn't get to in my last video is reinforcing the spine on all of these, and I will show you what I'm talking about. I put just some sari silk in between here just for strength. You definitely don't have to do that. Let's see here. I don't think I did it on all of them. Let's see. I think I did it just on a couple, because that's when I decided I probably should just turn the camera on and show you guys. So I just took some sari silk and put it down here. Let's turn it over. I don't think I did any on this side. So I just have some sari silk. And I'm just using, you could use washi, you could use ribbon, anything you want to do. And let's see here, I am going to just probably use my 3-in-1 because it dries really quick. I think I used my and I'm not putting a ton, but I just want it to definitely get in there. So this is just, I've opened it up to where I'm going to sew in the signatures, and I am just taking some sari silk, and I'm not even putting it on there perfect. I don't want it perfect. I'm just kind of putting it in the middle, and going to go all the way down. And I'm not even worried about too much getting it on the sides. I don't mind if it's sticking up a little. I kind of like that look. And let me get some scissors here, and so I'm just going to cut that off. And what that is going to do is that is going to reinforce my spine. We can put a little bit more right here. I don't want to put a ton because I don't actually want it completely on there perfectly. I want it just kind of hanging in there a little bit. And I'm just going to put a little bit, tiny bit of glue. Okay, so that is going to reinforce our spine enough to where it's not just paper. Okay, now we could do it on this one, and I'm going to do it there just to hide this portion. You don't have to do that. You could use paper, you could use washi tape. Washi tape would be easy, but since I'm already using this, I think I'm gonna, here, I'm gonna try this side right here. And again, I don't care that it's perfectly on there because I'm kind of not wanting it perfect, but and I like using this just because I think it gives it a shabby look. But you can certainly put whatever you want. And washi would work, but I would definitely glue down your washi, you know, with something just to make sure it's going to stay. That's just to help it because, you know, it's going back and forth, not because you're sewing in a signature. And it also hides that the different the part of the envelope that was showing. Oh, I did want to show you too, what I did is I went back in on all of the open envelope parts that we had, and what I did is I put a little bit of my extra, let's see if I have it, any of my extra papers that I had. I just cut them, trimmed it a little bit, and I put it part ways in the inside, and that is really just so that when you're looking at this you don't see just the white. Definitely don't have to do that. So here's another one we haven't done yet. So it does two things. It kind of covers up the white part, and it also reinforces the spine. And you don't have to do it on both sides, really, just one. You could, but I don't think you really need to. One is going to be the outside. You'll see in just a minute. I'll turn it over and show you. Let's see, I'll take this one. And I'm just putting it in the middle. And that should be dry pretty quick enough for us to be able to sew it. The other thing too is if you had wanted to do any sewing on this, you could do that. I am going to do a little bit, but not, you know, a ton. Okay, so I want to go ahead and put a piece right here because this is just like the other one. So I'm gonna, and again, it does two things. It covers this little spot right here, and it also a little hair there. It also, you know, covers the it also reinforces it. And I like mine kind of scrunched up and imperfect, so that's, I purposely leave it that way. I'm not trying to get it on there perfect. Okay, so that's going to be that. And I believe I did that. Make sure my papers are the right way. And I did that. That should be it. Okay, so what you'll see, I have this here, and we also have an outside part here, okay? Now, if you want to, you could go ahead and cover that, or you can ink it. I don't know. Let me see if I can find some pieces that are thin enough. Let me see these right here. This might work. And there should only be 2 of those. See, this is the outside here. We could go ahead and do that. That way it double reinforces it, plus you know, you could ink this or you can do that. I don't know that you need both, but that's up to you. So I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of my glue and I'm going to put it right on the edge right there. And then I'm going to go ahead and just kind of that right there, get that off of there. And just kind of go up and down. Try not to get glue everywhere. Now we have to be careful because you need these to open. So when I do this, I'm going to go ahead and put it on, and I'm going to have to like put a little slit there for this to work, or it will not work. Let me see. This sari is kind of completely folded, so I got to open it up a little bit. So we're going to put that there. And then right here, I'm going to put a little slit. Okay. And I'm going to go right here. Because if you don't do that, this can't open and close. So I'm going to go ahead and just put a little bit right here. And get that down. And if you don't want to do this, you definitely don't have to. I kind of like how it looks. To me, it makes it look a little shabby. So I'm going to roll. This is the part we slit. So I'm going to have that go down here. And I'm going to do this and have that go down here. Oh, I didn't cut that off yet. Okay, here we go. And cut that right there. So that allows this to open and close, okay? If you don't do that, you won't be able to open and close it, so. Like I said, washi tape would work well too. Okay, so that is going to be reinforced. And then we're going to do this one right here. Now this doesn't have anything on it, so it doesn't really matter. We don't have to worry about putting a slit or anything like that. Again, you could easily just ink this and not put this on if you're just worried about how it looks. Is that one long enough? Nope. Let me try this one. All right. I had sari from ages ago that, and they're different widths, and whenever I use it for this, I try and use the one that's not as wide, you know, so, but it tends, this is really kind of crumpled up a lot, so, which is fine, not a big deal. Oops, that's moving. Push that over here. There we go. And again, you know, you put it the way you want it, or if you want it. I'm not gonna go crazy making sure it's perfect because I don't really care, because I actually like the not perfect look. So, but you want it on there so that it serves its purpose. Okay, get that straightened out a little bit. There we go. Let's see if I even got it on the other side. So anyway, this is really easy. You don't have to reinforce it at all if you don't want to, but like I said, I just feel like it's going to last longer, and it does, to me, it gives it a little bit shabbier look. So, all right. So anyway, those are all the spots that we would need to reinforce. I guess I could put some glue right here and get that to stick down. There we go. I missed that. So that is going to just give us some reinforcement when we go and we sew in our signatures. All right, so let me show you kind of what I did with the papers. So this is my first signature. All right, you open it up. I'll have something in here like a pocket or something, and so this is going to be my first signature. And what I'm going to do is, let me get my clips out. You know, I think I'm going to just use paper clips for this. Let me get those. My long ones out. And I am just going to put, this is my signature. I've got lots of different pages. I have them at different heights. So I'm going to just do like you would on any other signature. I'm going to put it in the middle. Kind of look at my pages to make sure they're where I want them. None are upside down. Okay, so that's that. And let me put that there. And then I'm just going to go through and figure out if it's in the right spot and put a paper clip here. And I'll put one over here. Okay, do it that way, I guess. All right, so those two are in there. And now I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. And that is just so that it stays put while I'm sewing in the signature. In essence, you're going to be sewing in 4 signatures. Okay, but they're all going to be on a separate cover. So that's it right there, okay? Then I'm going to go through the next one and do the same thing. So this is our cover here. So we're going to go ahead and get our papers lined up. And I always take it sideways and kind of make sure that it's in the middle of these 2 bigger pieces. So you don't have any sticking out of the top or the bottom. And this is kind of just a short piece. I'm going to make sure I get that somewhere either at the top or the bottom. Then I'm going to put that in. And all my pieces are different sizes. I did that intentionally because I like that look. So, all right. So then we're going to go ahead and get that kind of positioned where we want it. And get our paper clips, and I'm using larger paper clips so that it holds more of this down. And I make sure it goes down there as far as you can get it. A lot of my paper clips are stuck together, so. And you're just going to do that to all 4 signatures. The same thing. It's actually, even though this journal looks complicated, it's actually, I think, an easy journal once you figure out what you're doing, because you're sewing these signatures in to single, to single signatures, so that's easy. And they're not having to line up with each other, so, all right, that seems kind of not in the right spot. Now this one is the shorter envelope right here. Remember we did this one a little bit shorter, so I have to put this, I'm making sure that it's in the middle of here, and that the pages are in right. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of line that up, and we're going to go, yeah, that looks good. And really, this whole journal is just a bunch of random pages that I had already printed out. You know, they go together, kind of, but they're not necessarily a kit in general. It's just stuff I had printed out that I had not used. So, all right. So technically this is the back. There's another journal on the other side of that. So, I think what I'm going to do is I'm not going to pin that in until we're ready to sew it. And I'll take those off. I'm going to do the same thing here, but I'm going to go ahead and put them in place just because I want everything to stay kind of intact while I'm doing it. Okay, so this is our last signature, and we're going to make sure it's in the middle. And I think I'm going to put it right here. And I'm only going to do it on one side because I don't want to make it too complicated. So I'm going to do it, I think, on this side. Yeah, okay. There's my last page. So that is going to go right here. You know what? Maybe I'll do it to this one. It'll be easier because I can hold it up so you can see it. Move it down a little bit. Yeah, it needs to go down just a tiny bit. There we go. And then we'll do that. Okay. So anyway, that is basically it. And now that we have that all in there like that, you will go in and we'll just sew in that signature, and then we'll go to the next one and we'll sew in that signature, turn it over, sew in this signature, and I'll go ahead and clip that once we get to it. Just I don't want to have 4 paper clips on that side if I can help it while I'm sewing in the other signature, and then we'll have this last signature to do. Okay? All right, so now that we've got all of our pages ready to go, we're going to go ahead and sew in our signatures. And I do want to say that if you have not done a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, again, I probably would do that first because it's a little bit more complicated, but you know, you can start with this. It's not crazy hard. Okay, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and then I do an extra length because I may have something dangling on this. I usually put a paper clip on the end of it just to keep it from going through. And I'm using waxed thread just because I think it's way easier and it's stronger. All right, so I'm just going to do that. And I've got my needle here, and I just have a very long, sharp needle. I like it because I can easily see through all my pages. And I moved in my camera, so hopefully it's a little bit closer. All right, so this is our thread. So I've got my awl here, and I'm just going to use that. Let's go to the first one right here. Now realize that you've got all these separate little signatures here, but we're going to do one at a time. Let me get my little pad thing. Hold on. Where did it go? Here we go. I have this little, it's just a little foam thing, and I use it to punch into, so Alright, so I am going to first off put 5 holes or 5 marks of where my holes are going to be. Okay, and hopefully you can see that. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go kind of guesstimate where the middle is. And I'm making these bigger than I would normally make them because I want you to be able to see them. So, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one probably about 1 inch from the top. I'm just guessing 1 inch from the bottom. Okay, and then in the middle of the 2 of those. Okay, and so that is where I'm going to put my holes. Okay, and I just guessed. You could take your 9.5 inches and make a template and make everyone the same, but because these signatures are not right next to each other, I wouldn't worry about that, but if you want to, that would be one way to do it. Okay, so now I'm taking my little foam block here, and I'm going to put this up like this. This is how I do it. I don't use a cradle. I just kind of hold it like it would be in a cradle, and I'm going to punch a hole through there, go all the way through, go to the next one, go all the way through, go to the next one. And this is so that you go straight through the back and it's not going through the side. And I'll just make sure that I'm doing that. Just look and see. And go through, and I'm just holding it kind of in a V with this one hand. Be careful you don't poke your hand. I've done it before. But just go like that, and that's why this little box, I'm just punching into that. Okay, let's see, and I have no idea where I got it. It was in some sort of packaging, and I have a couple of them and I've used them for years. Okay, so the way that this works is you are going to start, make sure you guys can see this. You're going to start in the middle and you're going to go straight back in the middle. And I kind of hold it at a slant, and that always makes it easier to get it straight in. Try and make sure that you guys can see too. There we go. Why is that difficult? Should not be difficult unless there we go. All right, so that is going to go in the middle. My string got kind of caught up somewhere. So you go in the middle. All right, and then you're going to go to the second hole here. You could go either one of these. It doesn't matter. I, for some reason, usually go up, but it doesn't matter. And you're going to go through the back this time because this is where your thread is. You're just going to follow where your thread is. That tells you whether to enter the back or the front. If your thread's in the back, you enter through the back. If your thread's in the middle, you enter through the middle. So that goes up on the second hole, okay? All right, and then you're going to go, so your thread's inside, so you're going to enter from the inside. And you're going to kind of, if you hold it, it tends to go through the hole better because everything's lined up usually. Unless you move the papers. I don't know whether I did or not. I don't think so. Okay, so then, I'm getting caught. Then you've gone through there. Okay, so you've gone through these 3 holes so far. And now you're on the outside, and we have to come back down. So here we are on the outside. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to come back, and we're going to go back through the second hole. And what we're going to do is we're going to try not to pierce the thread that we've already put through there. Okay, if you do pierce it, pull your needle back out and go in again, because if you pierce that thread, you will not be able to tighten your signature. Okay, so you want to make sure you didn't pierce it. Get your thing in there and go through. Okay, so you would think that you go back through the middle, but you don't, okay? Because we want to end up in the middle. So we have two threads together. So you skip the middle, okay? And we're in the inside, so our next time we go in is in the inside. We're going to skip the middle, and we do that because we want to end up back in the middle. So we're going to go down to this one right here. Hold it tight. It's going to go in. Okay. Now that we're on the outside, we're going to go through this bottom one that we've yet to go in yet. I can't really see the hole all that well because my head's not over it. There we go. So that's going to go in there. Where's my thread? Here we go. Okay, good. All right. So now that we've done that, we're going to go back through. We're in the inside. On the inside, we're going to go through this second one. And again, we're going to try not to pierce the thread, because what that does is it causes you not to be able to tighten your string. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, remember we skipped the middle and we came back down. We're going to go up through the middle, and again we're going to try not to pierce the thread. All right, and that is it. Okay, and that is really too long, so we're going to cut that. And this is what happens when I do this with the wax thread. I just pull this off. Okay, now what I do is I make sure, and I kind of did that as I was looking, but I just make sure that each string is on each side of this middle string. So there's one on this side and one on that side, and I tighten it up. Okay, now if you want to tighten it even more, you can take this and wrap it around your string, and wrap that around your string. Okay, and what that does is allows you some leverage. If you go, here they are, and you go opposite, just twist it opposite, and that gives you a little leverage. It pulls on the two strings to where they come together, and that gives you a nice tight signature. Don't go too tight, but you want it tight. And I always take my clips out then. Okay, and because you can't really completely tighten it until you get all the clips out. Okay, so let's see, do we have more in there? Maybe we do. Get those off. Yeah, okay, so that's all off. So then you tighten it, okay, and that should be really tight. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so then I just tie it in a square knot, and okay, and I usually take a tiny bit of glue, I mean the tiniest little bit, okay, just a dab, although it's clogged, so maybe we won't do that, but let's see. I don't know where my little needle went to. And I just put it on there. And the wax thread, usually what it does is it bonds, it kind of melts together. So that is how you do your signature, okay? So let's do another one just to, for kicks. This is the second one. So let's see here. That is going to be here. And again, I'm just going to hold it up like this. Where's my little pad? Now, I personally would not mark all these. If it was just me, I would probably just do it. But I'm going to do it for you. I hope you can see this, because on this paper, it may not be that easy. Now, the benefits of doing a 5-hole pamphlet stitch is when you have all those little short pages like that, it holds them in better, and it also, when you have long pages, it holds them in. But it's mainly too, usually when you're doing a long tall journal, you have a lot of short little pages in there, and it'll catch it usually in more than one place, and that's why the 5-hole is really good for the long journals. So what did I do with my thread? Okay. So anyway, it's not that difficult. Once you do it, it's just like anything, you know, practice makes perfect. And if you do one of these journals, you're going to have 4 signatures to sew in. So that will be, you get some practice. All right. Now, do this. All right. Oh yeah, I forgot to punch my, that's another thing. If it were just me, okay, and y'all weren't watching, I would probably take my needle and just go through and not punch holes, because it's a sharp needle, and that's why I have a sharp one. But I'm going to go ahead and punch the holes. It does make it a little easier, but if it were me, I probably would just do that. So I'm going to go ahead and, where's my little thingy here, punch some holes, and I hold it, and you know, at a V basically. And this is where I've punched my fingers before, because they'll be behind there, and they'll just I've done that, especially when you're making a lot of journals and you're going fast and you're like, yeah, I've done that. But you can, if you have a sharp needle and you're not, you know, matching, when you're doing a bunch of signatures in a row, like if you were doing 4 signatures in a book and they're all on one, let's say on a 2-inch spine or something, and you're putting them all right next to each other, then you have to measure where they are. You probably want your holes to line up, so you probably would do a template. I'm not doing a template because none of these signatures are going to be right next to each other, and I think they'll be fine. So, all right, but that would be how you would probably do it. Okay, so I'm going to go in the middle. Okay, and then I'm going to go on the outside. Okay, and I don't know why I go up. I usually do. I just can't. I don't know why I do. And so I'm going to go through there. All right. And I know it looks kind of confusing because I have all these papers, but I hope you can see that. Okay, then I'm going to go up here. We're at the top. And again, if you hold it in a V, I think that none of the papers move, and I leave my paper clips on until I'm almost done, so until I tighten up, you know, do my final tightening of my signature. So okay, so there we go, it's catching there. All right, and then I'm going to go, now that I've done that, I'm on the outside, and I'm going to go back through the second hole, and I'm going to try not to pierce the pierce this thread. Okay, so I did not pierce my thread that I already put through. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to skip the middle. Okay, holding it at an angle, it goes right in. And then I'm on the outside now. All right, so then I'm going to go in my last hole. Hopefully I can find it. Where did it go? Oh my goodness. Let's see. There's got to be a hole in here somewhere. It should be right around here. Is that it? I might have to pierce it so I can see just to make sure. Yeah, that is it. That is it, I think. If you ever can't find it, take your piercing tool. And I've had to do this on, like, I've done some fabric journals that were really dark or something and I couldn't see what I was doing. So I put my tool through there and it lets me know where the hole is. So I've had to do that. So I'm going to go back through here. Okay. Alright, so now I'm in the inside again. And I'm going to go back through the second one. Okay, and now I have to go back up through the middle. I'm on the outside, and again, I'm going to try not to pierce my thread. So, there we go. All right, did we pierce it? I don't know. Yeah, it looks like we did. So I'm going to pull it back out and go in again. And I just pierced it right when I got to the end. So there we go. And that one is done. I'll pull that off. I always make my thread way too big. All right, and see, they're both on the same side, so I move mine to the other side. And this is when I pull off my paper clips, because that way we can tighten it. Where did my needle go? Oh, there it is. Okay. And I've got it on both sides. First I tighten it up, and then I'm going to go ahead and put these through. I guess you could put them through and then tighten it up, but go like that. I twist it the other way, and all that does is put a little leverage on it. I check to make sure it's okay, and it is. And I'm going to do a double knot. And I put a dab of glue. You just put a tiny, tiny bit because you don't want it to stick to your paper. Okay, and then that is it, guys. So I think that kind of explains it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and finish sewing in the other ones, and then I will be right back, okay? Okay, so I've sewn these all in, and this is how it looks. It's already, you know, pretty chunky little journal, so you can imagine when you put a lot of stuff in there, it's going to be like, it's going to be huge. But in any case, I think with the sari silk on there that's reinforced it, it also hides the thread to where you really can't see it. If that's a thing for you. I mean, you could certainly put lace or trim on there or if you were very concerned about it, but I like it just the way it is. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to talk a little bit about decorating it. I don't know what I mean, decorating to me is like, you know, it's a personal thing. So but I was just going to bring up some things here. If you have any TN kits, those Traveler's Notebook, you can use that size. Here, I'll cut these out just so you can see. And I have several, so I thought, well, I'll show you what I'm talking about. I don't know for sure I'm going to use these, but these fit good on those pages because the pages are smaller, and it gives you close to the right size if you want pre-cut pockets. And I may use a few of these. I'm not really sure yet. So there's one. And then this is like a triple. And let me use my big scissors for that. And these are, like I said, from different people. This is from My Porch Print. I don't remember who that one was from. I would have to look it up. Well, that's one thing, you know, I organized my craft room, but my digital files, ugh, they're a mess. I really need to spend like a day, maybe several days of going through them because they really are a mess. And I'm cutting this out pretty quick. I mean, you could go back in and do a lot better job than I'm doing. So anyway, here's the fold line. Where's my... So you could definitely put pockets. I'm not doing a good job of that, but see, this is definitely a small pocket. You could put that right there. That'd be kind of cool. Maybe with some trim or something, right? The bigger ones, let's just say we wanted to do this here. Probably would have to trim that down a tiny bit because this is a smaller envelope. So, but you could still use it. Let's say you wanted to use it here. This would fit okay. So this is a TN size. These are a triple pocket here. So you could definitely put that in there, right? I think it goes the other way, actually. I don't remember. But anyway, you can use the TN size pockets if you want already done pockets. I probably am going to put, I might use a few of these, but I think I'm going to also use like some fabric ones and some things like that. So you can do that. Let's see, I'll take those out for a second. I don't know where the other one went to. There we go. Also, as far as lace and trim, I took a little out just to show you. I could put this right here. That would be pretty. Let's just do it. And of course you can go back, you can sew this because you have this opening here. You could have done it before you put it in there, or you can do it now. I mean, I'm not saying it won't be more difficult, but you certainly could sew that. And then let's just put that there. And I may come back in and sew it. I may not. I don't really know yet. So, I don't know. Okay, so that would go there. And then let's say we want to put something here, right? I've got this pretty beige antique trim. I think that would be pretty. So that could go like right here. You're not going to be able to do stuff like on every page and things like that because you'll see you have, you know, the fold line in there is keeping you from do that, but you have edges that you can do it. And then, so let's see, I'd put that one right there. And then get my wipes out so I can, what did I do with them? It's amazing, a big old box of wipes and I can't find them. Huh. Oh, here, they're right behind me. They're right behind me. And I just do that to get the extra glue off and not make it so shiny. And do that. Okay, so we've got lace there. Let's see. Let's put the same pink over there. know what though? I am going to put something in here later, so no, it's okay. That looks good like that. I think it looks good. I will leave it. I'm going to trim this though, because I like it a little bit more rounded on the edges. And then let's do this side. And honestly, this is not as complicated as it looks, and I think that's why they're popular, because they look complicated, but they're really not. So, and they're kind of fun because things are just flip-flopping around, and you can add different things. You can add flip outs in the middle, and you know, which I kind of did. I didn't really show you the pages, but okay. Do I want to put that same lace, or do I want to put a different one in there? Let me see if I was going to put some different. It's going to be on the other side, so I'll go ahead and put yeah, I'll go ahead and put this in there. So anyway, because this is not like one that bends, see, these you can't really put anything in, but you could put it on this side. So, and I may go back in and do that. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know how much lace and trim I want to put on here. I've just gotten to the point though, guys, where I have so much of it that I really need to start using more of it. So if you get a journal from me, it's probably going to have a lot of lace and trim, because I gotta get moving. Gotta use it. I spent time collecting. Now I gotta. It's always hard to tell which side to put on. And again, like I said, you definitely can sew this. You just need to decide if that's what you want to do. You can't sew the ones that are double like this, obviously, or you wouldn't be able to use them. Okay. So, and then I kind of round that. That is not on there good, is it? And I always, usually when I sew end glue, so. All right. So there we go. And then you can take on the inside here, you can't really put any unless you put it on a page. So you could put some on a page, like right here, or let's see, back here. This is the shorter one. You could put some on pages and have that sticking out. On the other side where you have the pockets, you could definitely put some right here. Like, let's say we put this in. This is a white. So we put that on there. So this is our pocket page here. You could put it on the outside or the inside, really. It doesn't matter. Whatever your preference is. You could put it on the inside of this pocket right here if you wanted to. But I'm going to go ahead and put it on the outside. And yeah, that looks pretty even. Pull it up just a little bit. There we go. And again, I did not put enough glue on the end. So I'll put a little bit right here. All right. All right, so that has that there. We can do one more. Let's see here. We have another pocket. So here's another pocket. So we can put it here. Let's see, what other lace do I want to put on here? I haven't used this one. Put that one on there. So that can go here. And of course you can put little tabs or anything else you want to put on there too, but I'm just trying to show you quickly where you can put some lace and stuff, because it isn't your typical journal where you have, you know, a bunch of real estate, but you can honestly put it on the pages, so it does allow you lots of room to do that. Okay. All right, so let's just say that that's what we did. That's still quite a bit of, you know, trim and things on there. So I would maybe put some like right here so that this side, you know, has some. Let's see, is that my first? No, that's not my first one. Like maybe right here. Got that. Yeah, we'll put it right here. So this is the first page of that back signature, so we could put that on there. And guys, I'm going quickly. You could take your time. Probably trim that. I just don't like the square corners, or, you know, not sure why. And then maybe on this one, we're going to put this. So we'll put that over here. Let's do that. And that's probably all I'm going to put, other than like little pieces here and there, because I don't know, I'm not going to put it on every page or anything like that, but I don't think a little lace and trim on a pink journal is a bad thing. All right, so that gives us a little bit of fluff on here, right? And I was thinking, rather than just put the sari silk, maybe I might put, let's see what I got here. Which one would look the best? That one. I don't know. I have different pinks here, so I never know which one until I hold it up. I think I like that. Yeah. So we could take that and, right? I don't know how long we need it. Probably about right here. So it's probably longer than it needs to be, but anyway, that is the bulk of what we need to do to make this journal. So I hope this helped you finish it off. I had the questions about all the other stuff, and I think that that turned out really, really cute. And I will finish this journal and I will do a flip through, hopefully in the next few days. But I did want to say that go ahead and try it because it's a lot of fun. It's different, and it's always fun to do something different. So I will see you soon. I do want to remind people that if you join my Facebook group and post a picture of what you're doing, it doesn't have to be a journal. I mean, anything kind of craft related. Just put that in there, cleaning your craft room. It doesn't matter. Just put that in there, and that enters you into a drawing that we're going to have on June 30th, and that is for the journal that I showed just recently that I did a flip through. And so that journal will be given away. I gave the other one that looks just like it away. I think it's called Shabby Grungy Journal with that digitals or something like that. I did a whole playlist on how we made it. Anyway, so that journal is going to be given away on June 30th. And I also wanted to announce to everyone watching that has posted in my Facebook group, and I will put this information on my Facebook group also, that if you post multiple pictures, like, you know, one a day max, but if you post like tomorrow and then the next day or the next day, every time you post, it's going to enter you in again. So, and that's kind of how my channel works on my giveaways, that if you are a public subscriber and you comment, that allows you a opportunity to win one of my giveaways. One comment per video, old videos, new videos, it doesn't matter. I can tell chronologically. And like, so my last one was when I hit 5,000. So from 5,000 to 6,000 is when I'll give my next giveaway. But every time you comment, what that does is that enters you into a pool. So if you know, I don't know how many videos I have a lot. I know it's over probably 300. If you were to watch all of them and comment once, then you'd have 300 entries. And I know it sounds nuts, but I mean, I've had people that have done almost that, and it pays off because, you know, you're in there more times than other people. So, all right, I will see you soon, and I'm not sure what day I'm going to be back. I'm thinking about doing a video on Friday, but that's a lot of videos this week, so we'll have to see if I have time to do it. So we will see you soon. Bye bye. Take care.